Hello again there and welcome to Mr. Paul's Pantry. I'm Mr. Paul and the recipe today is going to be an easy to make lasagna. So the ingredients we're going to need for this lasagna are first of all 500 grams of minced beef. You can use a mixture of beef or pork if you wish. I've only got beef today. And also we'll need 1 onion, 3 cloves of garlic, 1 carrot, 1 stick of celery, tomatoes, chopped tomatoes, tomato puree, a little Worcester sauce and beef stock. So what we're going to do now is to fry off the vegetables. They're going to the lasagna. Get your pan nice and hot, put in the oil, and first off the onions. It needs to be hot enough to hear the sizzle, but we don't want to burn these, we're just looking to soften them. It should take about 5 to 6 minutes from start to finish. There go the carrots. Followed by the stick of celery that's been finely diced. And then lastly we're going to add the chopped garlic. You'll note in this recipe I have no herbs, even though it's an Italian type recipe. I tested it with fresh herbs, I grow quite a lot, but it's better without. Now these need to be soft in 5 to 6 minutes. I'll show you in a minute when they're done, see what they look like. Here we are. Now this is what they look like after 5 to 6 minutes. Don't put a lid on them. We don't want to boil them, we want to dry them up. Now we're going to add the meat to this now. I told you before, you can use half and half pork and beef. I only have beef in stock today, I didn't go out shopping. So we're adding minced beef. And you'll note the minced beef I'm using has got some fat in it. Don't go buying the leanest thing you can find because the flavour is in the fat. Now we need to fry this off until we lose all the pink of the meat. We don't want to see any raw meat left. We're not trying to cook it at this stage, we're just what's called sealing it off. And we're going to add to this now in a moment to show you what it looks like. This is after about 5 or 6 minutes again. Turn the heat right up this time, or higher anyway. And we're going to add the tomatoes, the chopped tomatoes. And when I can find it, here it is, we're going to put in the tomato puree. Just give that a little mix to help it along, and then we're going to add the stock. Now you can turn the heat right up for here to bring it to a boil quickly. Give it a good mix. Now as soon as that comes to the boil, you want to turn it down to medium, don't leave it blazing away a lot. When you just see it boiling around the edges like that, turn it down a little bit and leave it until we lose all the juice. Now it's boiling, I'm going to add the final ingredient, which is the Liam Perrin's Worcestershire sauce. There we are, it's all in there now, nothing else to add. Now you just leave that gently bubbling away. I can't tell you how long, you just have to look by. This is what it should be, bubbling away like this, and when all that juice has disappeared, it's ready. Here we are, and that's what it should look like. It's always better to see what it looks like than try and explain it. This is why this is a lot better than a recipe book, really. Now I'm going to put some seasoning now, so we're going to put some salt in. and a good grind of black pepper. Give it a good mix, and then that's ready to go. Now we'll start on the sauce. So you need a hot pan, put in your butter, and if you want to increase this recipe for more people, this is a good way of remembering this. There's 50 grams of butter, 50 grams of flour, which you put in after you've melted the butter, and 550 mils of milk. So if you want to double that, you can, or halve it. It's very easy to do. Now you add the flour to the butter, and we're making what's called a roux. This is how you make any white sauce to start with, any base of a sauce. And you must cook this out gently, don't have it on a high heat, but you must cook the flour in the butter before you start adding any milk. Otherwise you'll always have that raw flour taste at the end. So now we've got that roux made, we're going to add a little of the milk, not too much. And when that's all been absorbed, and only when it's been absorbed, do we add more milk. It'll take a few seconds. Excuse me, I just spilt on the cooker. There we are. Now you see it going together now. Now this may take a bit of time to do because you've got to keep adding the milk in smaller quantities. But every time it's absorbed like that, beat it and then add some more milk, as we're doing here. There we go. And you must keep stirring, otherwise you'll get lumps. This method you won't get any lumps. What I'm going to do now is change to a whisk. Because it's long-winded, I'm going to speed up the video. I haven't suddenly had some spinach or something to give me more strength. I'm going to speed up the video so we're not sitting here waiting for this being added a little bit at a time. And once all the milk is added, and you have a nice smooth sauce, you want to leave it there now just till it starts thickening up. You'll see it start to bubble a little in a moment, and then it's nice to ready to use. The only thing left now is we need to season it, and I always find it best to season it at this stage, not at the early stages. You see it's covering the back of a spoon nicely, so it's just thick enough to use. Now we need to add a little salt at this stage here, and some pepper. And I'd like to point out here, in a white sauce we never ever use black pepper. It's always white pepper, so make sure of that. Give that a mix in, and then we're all ready to go. I mean, that is a nice, creamy white sauce. Now, a lot of people have asked me, do you put cheese in the sauce at this stage? The answer for a lasagna is no. Now, we're coming to assemble a lasagna now. I'm using these sheets. They're called quick cook sheets. I don't actually know what the difference is. I don't know what it is. Anyway, you don't have to soak them. I don't use fresh pasta because I can't keep it in the store cupboard long, so I use these. We need to spread a layer of sauce on the bottom, not too much. Then cover the bottom with some sheets. If you have a little bit, just break one off and make that little corner bit like that. Right? Now the next layer is some of the meat in the sauce. So you've got white sauce, the first layer, then pasta. Then we're putting on a layer of the beef. Now we're putting more sheets of pasta and more white sauce now. Oops, sorry. More white sauce. More pasta. The rest of the meat goes on at this stage. and then the final layer of pasta on top of that. And now you can put all the rest of the sauce you have on top of there. There we go. Now the recipe says parmesan cheese, and I'm sorry, but today I haven't got any. I thought I had, but I haven't. So I'm just using a bit of strong cheddar. It makes no difference. You can use whatever cheese you want. I mean, I know people who make the lasagna don't put any cheese on at all. And I also know people who put cheese on the layers of white sauce as they're building up the layers, but I don't do that. Now there it is, all ready to go into the oven. Now this is the finished product after about 40 minutes in the oven. 40 minutes. It's nice and crispy around the edges, bubbling underneath, and you should be able to see all the layers. I don't like a lasagna that when you lift it out of the pot, it splodges all over the plate. I've eaten in many eateries, and that's what happens, even in some Italian restaurants. Well, if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. When you do subscribe, press the little bell icon and you'll be informed every time I put up a new video. See you next time. Bye for now.